best in the game.
Listen, one of my beautiful peoples, you know who it is. This is your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. When it comes to putting 10 fragrances on a list, we gotta keep it quick, concise, and to the point because people's attention spans don't exist anymore. We're living in a TikTok era of 60 seconds or less. Now, one of the dopest parts about the selections that I've chosen for this video is that these don't have real hype behind them. Maybe some of them had at one point, but they don't last. They aren't on people's list nowadays. And they're all amazing scents, super sexy. I try to give you fragrances that are versatile for the classy individual to the slight boy. And the first fragrance I'm going to start off with, I've never seen on anybody's list, and it's a beautiful ambery scent that goes by the name of Byzantine Amber by Francesca Bianchi. Look at the color of that liquid. For me, this has a really animalic beast mode ambery scent profile that gives me a little bit of a reminder of Serge Lutens Chergy. This is a 1 ounce grenade inside of this scent profile, which was very surprising because the fragrance is not only sweet and decadent, but it's also earthy, beasty, and extremely unique. There's something intense about this hay-ish leathery scent profile with sweet amber that makes it almost addicting. I'm yet to try any other fragrances from Francesca Bianchi, but this being the first impression and having to power wash it off of my skin definitely opens the door to explore more fragrances from this house and putting you on to a fire beast mode fragrance that has 15-hour minimum performance off the skin. Next one. Out of all the fragrances, this one might still be on people's list, and I can understand why. That's Widian's London. This fragrance is just rough, rugged, and bold. If I can use 3 words to categorize this fragrance, is sexy, alluring, mysterious, arousing. Time for a Tuscan leather meets steroids meets the sexiest of sexy runway models. Sweet leather, kind of caramel at times, soft, warm, bitter yet bright. Incredible scent profile. This joint lasted me like 18 hours off the skin, and that's just too much. Next one. It's rare that I do a beast mode scent profile video and I don't add Encre Noire à l'extrême by Lalique. A fragrance that doesn't really get much burn nowadays because I don't dress formal. This screams formal. This screams masculinity. This screams gentleman. This screams I need to walk through a car wash to get it off my skin. Super rich, dry vetiver, citric nuances with a little bit of like a grapefruit sour sweetness, a little bit of a shaving foam action with light lavender. Easy way to categorize this fragrance, elegant, beast mode. Next one. This right here is a fragrance that will never come off the skin. It should come with some sort of FDA warning because Frederic Mall's promises to last forever. Blue Chew can't even give you those guarantees. Jesus Christ. Longevity and sillage is not anything that this has a problem with. As a person who's not the biggest fan of Frederic Mall fragrances, this one is one that takes that top level tier of the fragrances within that lineup. For me, this can only be worn in the absolute cold weather. You gotta have that triple fat goose with the furs around the neck, shout out to Peter, to really give this joint a test drive. It has to be cold because this is not going to come off. This is easy a 24-hour fragrance on some 5 spray joint. So you gotta be real tate quieto. This is not an office safe fragrance. Forget about all that. Outdoors, walking through open air, you will kill somebody, but they're gonna die smelling amazing. Next one. Another ambery sex bomb that is absolutely amazing, and that's Jeroboam Ambra. Coño, qué rico, man. This is so good. When you see little bottles like this with a high price point, best believe they're going to perform outstanding most of the time. Amber, cinnamon, allspice, a little bit of a wet wood action, slightly barnyardish, a little bit of animalic features here, but they aren't off-putting. I don't know if you can hear the wind through the microphone, but this brisk air is perfect for this scent profile right now. I just wanna, yeah, buddy. Yeah. The next fragrance I call Punchy Nuts. This almondy heliotrope beast is very intense. You have to be very cautious with this trigger. Easily over 17 hours of performance off the skin. The sillage bubble that travels with you is like a stalker. And that fragrance is Parfums de Marly Pegasus Exclusive. This is a very, very strong almondy fucking monster. Like, almond and oud should never be in the same conversation after the trauma that I've endured with this scent profile. It's sexy, it's mass appeal. I do prefer the original Pegasus over the exclusive version. It's just a little bit more buttery. This is for somebody who's just obsessed with almond or obsessed with Pegasus that not only wants to make a statement, wants to be a walking example of napalm in the fragrance space. Like, smelling it from here, you get the lavender, you get the amber, you get the florals, you absolutely get the nuttiness and that heliotrope punch, but it also smells like a dusty bag of Coke. I mean, like, after I've done it, just say no. All I gotta say is just be easy with this trigger. This can be really obnoxious to some people because it's super loud. It's like Cuba in a bottle. Next one. I had mixed feelings about this scent profile. I thought it was purely going to be super duper cold weather, like you're falling into an episode of Game of Thrones. But Memo's Winter Palace? Yeesh. Let me revisit this piece. super sharp, bright citrus. It's like you're washing out one of the orange fruit processor things, or homies in the cart just peeling them with little sombrero on, mixed with every tea bag in aisle 7 of ShopRite, and the remains of all the dead deer musk. It's bright yet super potent. If we're gonna talk about citruses that last forever and a day, that is one of them. It's citrus yet cozy. It's tea yet bright. It's summer yet beastmode.com. 15-hour plus, just obnoxiously strong. Can absolutely be pulled off in the late summertime when there's a little bit more of a brisk air, some slightly lower temperatures. That's just too much. Next one. The original Erba Pura is traumatizing. Erba Pura Magica shares that same energy. Luckily, I'm never in those scenarios where I'm in close encounters. God forbid you wear this in an elevator and people really find out what you're made of. This would potentially be the scent of Miami. From all the Haramain clone of Erba Pura that I smelled when I was down there, if they got a hold of this or the clone to Erba Pura Magica, they might just have a full-blown orgy on the beach. 8th Street Latinas would be making a comeback and the bang bus would have multiple fleets. It's a lot of sweetness, just dull cocktail factory remnants of employees leaving with juices all over them. It's like if Pornhub had an edition with Chiquita Banana getting gangbanged by the California prunes. This is very strong, guys. This is really obnoxiously diesel. It's a good scent for like a 2-sprayer. It keeps the same Erba Pura energy, just it's a lot. Why do you guys want fragrances that last so long and project at this level? Do you not get hugged as a child? Do you need that much attention that you want something to really just be a sillage bubble around everyone so you get noticed in this obnoxious way? Just do YouTube and talk to a camera. Next one. My favorite fragrance out of the Oman luxury line, Oud Aquilaria, because of the scent profile and its longevity. What I started to realize about this fragrance the couple of times more that I've worn it is that there is some similarities to Leighton. The apple in here and that oud combination with a little bit of a lavender kick really does kind of remind me into that Leighton space, which isn't a bad thing. What this ends up being is a little bit more green, a slightly more herbal. The oud here is a little bit more pronounced, but I wouldn't say like Leighton exclusive levels. It's still wearable. Exclusive just gets too animalic, but I wouldn't call this a clone or a 1-to-1, but it still has that wearability, that sex appeal, that really tolerable factor with really incredible performance off of my skin. I was very surprised because at the beginning I felt that it was going to be a little bit fainter than I expected, but really it was just a scent trail that lasted. I didn't pick up as much on the scent profile, but trust me, people around me absolutely did, and I was made well aware. It's addictive, sexy, deep, rich, great performance. This one's a sleeper, bro. Next one. And finally, a new house that I've been introduced to that has incredible performance across the entire lineup that I've smelled, Royal Vetiver by Primera Perfumes. Vetiver, wood, amber, sexy. Wow, this shit right here, doggy, candela. Think about it. It's pineapple, cardamom, vetiver, Damascus rose, tonka, sandalwood, patchouli, and musk. This shit just don't come off the skin. I love getting samples of these fragrances before I try them out to just throw them in the car. I feel like the car is like the best place for me to test things out because it's an easy glove box reach. Boom, 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 spray it, walk out, and then you see what time it's on. There's some level of brightness in this scent profile, but it's really just dark Middle Eastern sexy and pretty much goes into the space of one of the most fucking fire vetivers that I've encountered. So these are 10-15-hour plus beast mode cold weather bangers that don't have really any hype behind them that you should absolutely test out, bare minimum. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. I'll put links in the description to these fragrances and let me know what guaranteed 15-hour plus scent profile you've tried that is your go-to for that cold weather. I'll see y'all snitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
It's time to call back for the rough, rugged, and raw way. This nigga Jay, it's a game.